Yeah.
Bibia edidana kwem. Nyamiadum ye koso. I think that so adia chinsa na unya wa ho de na de kwa.
Sure.
You can complain less, but baby, you know, we still have to push and press and be hopeful. Say, there is a lot of worrying issues, and I want to urge the vice president of the land, so your MPP for
a leader,
party leader, you know. But my interest is the vice president as our national asset. Say, onto the 9 AC form. If you say, I don't know, this issue, it keeps coming and I keep talking about, and sometimes I am measured, but I think there's too much wastage at the Jubilee House.
The seat of Ghana's presidency. The Jubilee House.
You know, and let me even start from the vice president, because we are not about the president's office itself. I'm talking about chief of staff office. I see a pam nipa be brief you. I do ya can. See a pam nipa be brief you. Very worried. Say the vice president entourage no move without an ambulance. Both the CAT, because CAT or cat, police and the military and break it down.
Ambulances now.
Ambulance because they been counted a friend called
cars and
CAT cat.
Okay.
The counter DNDN team, attack team, both military and police break it down for months. The vice president now cast to me short to petrol. Oh yes. Omo rent cars.
Omo rent car.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Cars and accidents pa. Rented cars and Ghana cars. And you know the funny aspect, maintenance of the car quite a problem.
Cars ben now can once me.
This is the cars a good Jubilee House are both the president and the vice president.
Omo convoy cars no. But how is that possible?
Na so the bibia obedi achi
na say
rented vehicles especially the vice president.
Rented for the vice
out
president.
Out of the rented no crowd do one accident. Rented vehicle. Now I say my better na catch that make also nyindi. If you drive people from Accra to Takoradi to Wa to Damango back to Accra back to now money pan 200 is allowance. Make come on say
for a day.
And you my free Jubilee House e ba no. You jina you know na we
200 cedis a day.
Chief of staff on na we. You be work second lady office nyina. What that me ba? Mo security couples no mo se fuel no mo no o be business o mo dey run.
Presidency
I'm
fuel.
telling you. Na car cry outsiders they maintain, you know. Because now we are not paying them, you know. They are not maintaining our cars for us. These are Ghana cars, presidential cars. Outsiders they maintain the cars, professional people, and they maintain the car. Over 2 million
Ghana city.
Yes, yentuomuka.
Now budget na
president. Now kwa bibia omo pebiano. No mo dia sosom sa de ama. Omo so engage omo service omo so Jubilee kokrofo omo hwe. The Jubilee House is in a mess. If the vice president is the leader of the MPP, me interest or a vice president.
Of course.
His safety is paramount. Say convoy timi short to petrol kwem. Vice presidential convoy.
Now, who is supposed to provide our logistics?
I don't want to know. I know the chief of staff is the chief administrator.
She has to do
it. It is failing us.
But these are
serious issues. Now works that CAT vehicles too, both police and military. I break it down.
Grounded. Is your too.
Vice President, about President
the counter-attack team,
about President of the Enyakra. Now Obi 250 wiem anopa kosi na junior hemache. Oman 200 is as allowance
for a day.
No before planer, oman 2000 as an allowance. Now kazo bodo mu de ekoswara. We are not save. Me for me no politician men na me no. We are not safe because the rate at which Omoka say, Sikani Hobomunya Sikani Mabino, welfare of the people that are making sure that these two most important personalities are very secure. No, and it's according to Groovy. Now, a president and the vice rent cars. Are we safe? Me rent a car. I'm also currently the same Land Cruiser at them.
And yet secured in any way.
How? Wow. Tell careful. Chief of staff there wa Maya for say poto or follow president Pepe do a cop to the ditch. Bibia about Tampano Banada same when a man catch Omanhene they on the radio for years or never solving problems. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah, because some
it's
of these
getting
things
out of hand.
Ideally, it shouldn't even be spoken
and
about.
And the vice president should step up the game because he's a party leader.
Yeah, but he's not a government leader.
My brother.
But what can he do?
Vice president of the land, your safety is not paramount.
But the point is that if you...
cars out them current, if the sources that I have here is correct, who do seek a correct here? Fuel a short to a quam, your packet currency quantum fee. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but if you make the requisitions, not say Emma, what
so are you not worried?
No, we should be worried and put pressure on the body. I will say yes,
pressure the chief of staff.
That's what I'm saying.
Pressure the chief of staff. Then pressure create the chief of staff. None of that and a young man call yes, I don't know station Independence Square on him. Any pressure. This administration led by Nana Dankwa Kufuado. After the Obi. Impunity pa. Jeremiah say supporters had $400 to Jomo Kasa. Okasa. Uti Jubilee as now MPP supporter $400 Okasa. When people have been paid in this country, Yama cook, Yama gardener, Yama security, Yama business class, Yama the best of hotel to sleep in. Okra as a boy chrono. Na me bayasi paino eko send the Dama Black Star no. What's it? Now, our story now is it confirmed?
No, whether it is confirmed. Me say
supporters.
Patriotism is losing out because Nobi. Me say
how is that?
How is that possible? Say they should pay them more. Nobody wants to be patriotic for this country again.
No, $400 here for them.
Okay, the day I support to blast. That's what we call. Park when you're empty. Because everybody thinks that we are grabbing. Now, God, what is in penny sender? Patriotism is nowhere to be found. Now, Kenya, who say Ghana national team able just a stone throw away. Yama shine their kohonum. Yama baby older. Who support and in penny sender that say.
Or mine a transport
of course.
Yama baby.
Yes.
Emo modu and dia parent. And omoje $400 each.
No be. It is all the money here. And omu kinkai. That is where we've gotten to as a country, and it's sad.
But why would we want to spend that much on supporters?
Why are we spending that much at Jubilee House when we don't have any returns from Jubilee House? Why? Why are we spending that much? Why are we spending that much when people have been paid to work on our behalf and they are not working?
Yeah, but man, unim say minya some confirmations to earlier story. In way say Obi, keep me anonymous.
Mami member anonymous. Me be make a biawa.
Send the panel. Obi so way out there, but to corroborate in some now.
Who them learning to be careful when I'm doing a presentation here because you challenge me. I'm saying, baby, I make a biano. Rented cars, baby, I'm quarantine. Baby, a petrol short to here. The petrol na kokotako. Wants to say 5 million now. Oh, Jubilee House. Nina, oh, men ko kika nsem bia basa. From chief of staff office. Now we be on the radio show. The risk aspect is that these are senior security couples. I don't know report to them.
Me only pan say Obi the VIP once in a while buys fuel and even foot accommodation bills.
Look at this.
But this is the chief of staff.
This is it.
I mean, this is the chief of staff.
The impunity in this country. The president also on your reshuffle, Obi. Say no you.
Yeah, because
you're chef with 6 ministers. You're bond ministers if you're from
Because
the foreign ministers you be search them here from you see
but I confirm to you, one of my friends ministers
the list was there.
But the latest I'm hearing is after
after 38 to 39. We don't need it again. He should develop the country for us. The president is looking on concern again. Come on, could you actually Fantifui, 8 million Fantifui. Atamils group. Dominic, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Who call vote region? Zagro said, look at the commentary you ran.
No term, no so
the amount to my my friends. I want to Obi Momo than you to Manana. I took you know, or not quite day.
And you know, deputy fisheries minister. No, Olusu yon. Na president so why then?
So amount to I took you.
Enti
Busale. And the president, you don't know whether or Kasama or a president for Ghana or a president for this particular group of people. Obi Adena Yekano. Chino Achibu, things fall apart. The center cannot hold. This is a recipe for complete chaos. And the vice president is too quiet.
But what can he do?
The vice president only to meet chief of staff. None of the cars or no train no bubble at the no brand. About mine no brand.
Oman, in the scheme of things at the Jubilee.
Oh, administrative aspect no cano. Or no Ghana name.
Yes.
Onu jina Ghana name, onu jina political party as a chief of staff.
Yes.
Eti mi amiya Ghana juma no. Na me from Miami Sika ene me shen. Enya embo me bra for Ghana. Is that possible?
Yeah, but unfortunately no on your spending officer. The spending officer is the chief of staff. On the was say approval say
two vice president. No,
problem.
So
but the point is that for now,
no,
me can in relation to your point say the vice president is too quiet. What can he do? What can he do?
Well, and young gloss over in Chasso.
No, what we should tell the chief of staff is this is what is coming to us. To the extent say what one say fresh couples ni beside in the BBN and the about radio. So, but I think a very critical. I mean, we cannot be hearing some of these stories. Say cars for counter-attack team break it down. Into now our second gentleman is completely exposed.
It's not even only the second gentleman. The first Lancaster. You see fa sama kaka ne ba you see fa utiaso krenko
na omonka so omo cars now mine to ewo hin
the cars maintenance is a problem because they don't maintain them well. 6 weeks 2 weeks 1 month 6 months fresh Land Cruisers break it down me catch your bebre private ones omo current here pim I say he say yedi omo be shisha car no so 1 million yedi omo ka 2 million Ghana cedi over. We don't have this money, but we have money to be playing around.
But what happened to budget? Jubilee House budget, no? Because the budget has almost tripled. Where does the budget go?
This Nanado administration is now something else, Obi.
Wow.
Yes, something else.
Wow.
They are Canadian MPP for us. Say Dr. Mahmoud Baumi abe dakra me hold me show. But me vice president.
Yeah.
Nanado you me president.
Sure.
I'm not a party leader. To me, the party for no whatever action or inaction, I'm saying that we are not safe if we continue to handle the affairs of the president and the vice president like this.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
What I say, a big president Benjamin win. I confront to these personalities. No, they pretend that nothing is happening. Now your president is saying,
Eddie. Yeah.
Who your president is saying, "What?" In Tronkwan or Muditeno.
They let you be in a world of your own. It is a one counter strategies. How do you information?
And Tronkwan or Muditeno president.
Because I don't think any president or vice president worth his salt will see say. Me car say what say me ko baby ni nyina break it down go baby yenya 2 million for you know krana that 2 million figure no president grant say what no so tena so won carry there then end there ono anasema because when you're a president na wanya honest people who can stand up to you and talk to you confront you on issues problem. How is it possible say cars
but we don't have honest people in this country again to man public offices and the political institutions that we have. We don't have honest people again. That's the danger. Are we allowed to show those cars? Are we?
Those are security vehicles. That's difficult. Those are security. I think what they pulled for me, what the president said, President Mills family no echo kusiano Jubilee House.
That's what he meant.
Yenti in Semnibi.
Krakra. Atokujo. No, yeah, MP or the man be a minister. Or a deputy minister. They need to say when you say a namson so no so be sha say bibi amamo a kumfi. Na actually election for by a free hall. Then you know can be like a cram to academy me manika crash of free man can cry but yes so mobile material more can yeah I feel so something I feel as I say the work I see I feel maybe see very na
Asempa FM.
And the voice of the president Nana Adodankwa Akufo.
President you need to because one two about money nipa.
Yeah, o say ne obi o ye ne minister Olusui. Nti o kan okratch o mo say na ni free o mo so kaka. Yeah.
Sir.
Another one to the
No, it's not a joke, Obi. It's not laughable again, no. Mampini. I don't be tracking for a different, a particular group of people, Anna. You are head of this country because your GDN is equitable distribution and management of the resources of this country.
Yes.
Nyasa uno ni pekuobi, ana obi, ana asumasi. No, it can't be possible. That's why that time the catcher was saying. Enti na Eugene MP ni kura je na china mampen ka se montuma Eugene zata no munyanka aba na wasem kro o se montuma Eugene you are Eugene de ne doba no eti montuma no dia the refuse atuma na onye president biem 2025 is not going to be a president
sure
maybe as I say now atuma Eugene or call in the content young contestant no and maybe mirikamu or the development be call dia
Eugene oko on post
well one go on post obi ni jira
obi o contest ba otwini mu otwini panimu so I'm to the anyway.
Development. That's what the president is saying. And it's scary and it's sad. If you get to a point where patriotism is lost out, even from our leaders, what do you expect from our citizens? To continue to be patriotic? If you get to the point where people are losing interest in the national conversation that we are supposed to have, we are moving into a realm of chaos.
Yeah.
See, Mampeni, your last days, sit up.
The last 1 year.
Yes, sit up. Mr. Vice President, sit up. Chief of Staff, yeah, this is cool, Obi. Cool, because sometimes the Obatampa tag, it's not felt. The fact that you're Obatampa doesn't mean that Sabi Obakrano or you know my Sanfata because you're Obatampa, you're Obatampa. Why? Why? Is it all about how you win power? Or it's about how you create the opportunities for a reasonable percentage of Ghanaians to feel okay?
Yeah.
Offer her say, Oko Porter say, Oko her say, Ura say, Oko hospital say, Oko teacher say. Why? Everybody is like there's no figurehead. Absolutely, there's no figurehead in this country. No, my hobby ever seen Namino say, Langas and Great Minko. Langaso. Langas, they are being engaged by these same people. Langas, these same people, those who have power and wealth. Langas, no, semno, Omana, kutia sa to trust them. Those political figures now are engaging these able-bodied men to come and intimidate and frustrate. This is the country we are living in. It is a kasa de kekeke, but there's no action. Ya kasa every blessed day. Ya kasa talk every day. But ya be kasa. The culture say figures are just changing, but our attitude, our focus is not changing.
It's not changing. It's true.
Figures are just changing. 23, now 24. It's normal, but that cannot be the case. When you wake up, you see frustration on the part of on the face of reasonable percentage of Ghanaians. Frustration. Why? Why? Are you not ashamed that we are blessed with what reasonable percentage of in crowd they don't have even a quarter of what we have? So you're born a pan the way.
But we are the okay be Nenra. Of
course, I support that. You're born in the way. Leadership has always been the problem. Partisan politics instead of national politics. Partisanship.
And it's also
partisanship.
I was all joining the new force.
I don't have a problem because if their focus is right, if there are honest people to join that as Jacob Freedom Caesar, I'll join. Because we are tired.
The new force.
We are tired. We need honest people who are ready to serve this country, be patriotic, and make sure that Ghana will rise up again. Not the normal things that we are seeing every blessed day.
In the head-to-head, the new force, any movement for change,
Well, I think that any of them with a good vision, they should be considered. Where honest people who are transparent, no more, whether in opposition or in government. You need 2 years, 3 years. SCC apartments, to Land Cruisers, and Bentleys. I say you're mates. We don't hate anybody's growth financially or whatever, but we are suspicious of the kind of growth and anybody who enters our body politics. Why are we making politics the only opener for every Ghanaian to be successful? If we don't enter that free, it says so even journalists now, what we are doing is that we all end up in politics. Majority of us. Majority of us.
True.
We should be worried. Doctors are moving into it. Lawyers are moving into it. We should be worried.
Lawyers have always been politicians.
No, I don't have a problem. But the percentage of lawyers. What does that come
the first political party in Ghana said lawyers na
I don't have a problem.
Lawyers
have always been the businessmen and the parties in the Breonma, the businessmen, a quantity of Fanti Fulcrum, Cape Cozona, a bit of Oko sentiment and Puno de your country. Everyone know the businessmen. So, we should be worried. Open you power, GM, and no jealous McCoy Manuel. Open you power, Church for you, no jealous McCoy Manuel. How? Why? The basics that we need, basic kakesi bia, Ghana ni basic kakesi bia, Ghana ni yeni kuya. Or no, I said you hear say the be kuya no, and even kuya no kura no so they abuse a kuya for no kura with slogans. Both political parties, but this political party is worse. Slogans. Slogans.
Asempa FM.
No, we have a big kuya for ni susa no moko. People are not held accountable. People are not held responsible in this country. But without all these checks, discipline, accountability, transparency, truthfulness, patriotism, love for your country,
problem.
We can continue to change the figures. 23 bekwa 24, 24 bekwa 25, 25 bekwa 26. We will still be in our ABCD and keep lamenting. They say and Ghana krane ahoya na nibre because of people think that people cannot develop. It's ahoya pa na nibre o show t-shirt we krana. People are just envious and bitter.
Asempa FM.
Who ba ko kwasa ba Ghana no. Bitterness. Also, the bitterness not drawn in him, bitterness.
I said, there's a man so make a politician now after 2-3 years, Minyeska. Now we complain, I just say bitterness.
You want to let me say, you will complain, you can hobby. Me no ne wow. So you say,
Minimpa.
So you say no wa.
Minimpa.
It's only me pa.
Minimu bibi.
I don't say minimum pa. It is say a better graph no. Because if it has taken me almost 6 years to complete a 3-bedroom and 1 lentil still. Lentil. Hey, Obi. Now the Okoya Uncle board down so we are what's at the apartments by 8 within bed your was our sources. Now no edma bed no. Special prosecutor na juma why kwan. Corruption and corruption related no. Why kwan. Now say come on in kasa. Ko beti chiomu sa. Oh yeah, also brabe hwem when the bia the brand in komo. Checheri mu say the osi no man siko. Brabe checheri mu say no mesiko. Very useful office. But any pa bonintino. ya kick office na fefe so am office na nkasa kra na lose significance. We cannot complain and talk because we continue to be beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Obia ye din obia from here people in government 50-50. You need the hope 50-50. What did the hope?
Elections need.
What did the hope? So who wanted the hope here? And some of them are so let me see you say that preoccupy. That is the problem in this country.
Very well. Very well.
It is when government change, they don't change for the good of the citizens. So they change because Minister for Employment a different person.
Yes.
So that person and also the cronies, almost life at the expense of Ghana. So that is how we have practiced our democracy. No one thing asma papa nekache one say or sorry ebia wa modi name President Kufuor and afi Kwame Nkrumah cheddar. What does what
Yeah, I'll say Kufuor.
Yes.
Kwame Nkrumah and Kufuor.
What is the magical
in the Fourth Republic?
They impacted majority of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
They impacted majority of Ghanaians. Professor Bosakobe extremely exceptional. I don't know and already to suffer.
To suffer no.
That the Akaidi. The Akaidi will be.
Yeah.
The impunity in this country now has gotten completely out of hand. Obia mobia. Obia for obia se mun yehwe.
Yes.
Obia mobia o. Obia for obia se mun yehwe. Ade we se me enye. Ni egusu ni eye. Yes, election delegates ye kotoba. Mo susu nyansi kasema modeje no. Ye kotoba no. Na fe check boto si amanfo ka boot no mo cheska. Full glare. Ato special prosecutor. On be need this 2017 no. On be no chinkofo.
I say enna ye say oton safre Kofi Ofosu kan.
And I say me say dey bia no mo ye we kire wono. Dey na approach no be o mo highly suspicious. But I say enye boni bra. Wajuma na o ye no bia be bo charge say. Ade we dey susu say ABS can be betime free. Adwuma no mu na iden. E je no dey boni ni dey we. Sometimes you should name kakra bata wonti no. We will be argument say bebre akokoko so because obi also be born charge. Ni me hihye mu ni say obi a be born charge ono anka say oni informant so system no metima adwuma no.
Ono atimi.
So sometimes more room for suspicion.
Say I say targeted.
Yes, that's a targeted. It's not out of anything. Any boni mame. On nobody will allow the special prosecutor to intimidate or frustrate anybody. No. But if it's in order, me Jubilee say I mo rem kakra me Brahma ye na ho be ye say because of that power no also be frustrated and intimidated there. They will resist it fiercely.
Yeah. Mama me fa we ntwam enne minya call from Madam Fubi wo US say ne maame echo Rich Hospital. Now, apparently, I think the medical report are not all panel. Omoka say on Comra and then Omra Major call almost 1,500 just for the medical report. I don't know why Rich for if it's an official amount, say, oh, Kwajo reporter, you have to pay that much. That's a bit weird. But the person was very, very, very angry at amount I would say, and what I told them, they said, Omumusa say official charge on bema receipt and asset is saying it is a rage for 8 years. That's what is happening, in the hospital administrator, the med soup, and all of you guys. You would want to follow up on a story like this. Now, for you, say more guys, will be medical reporter. 1,500 Ghana cedis. That's a bit on the high. I mean. 1,500 medical report. How is that even possible? 15 million.
Baby abejiego.
Hey.
Say anyiri ye ho a. Obia usi obia fo no obu.
Yeah.
Baby e kakoduru no.
Yes.
Maka cho say me person be school ni. Me na na say na me kan. School kasia pa o. Kasia pa o Eastern region. School feeding ya mutu. Graphic front page and story be na say
graphic front page.
Yeah. Graphic front page.
And Oka school you could be so frame say and Oko University of Ghana halls ni be air charge generator fee say and then say Generator.
Now where you want?
Will be at 100 Ghana.
No, but you want? Me call for Motiana.
Generator fee.
Yeah, but that is the problem, Obi.
Charlie.
You might be brain cool. But point is that Obia shows your bedding, Obeka. And I be brain cool. And you might be brain cool. And those of you are most senators say make MPP as make kind this as the so-called videos there no 2020 videos be na as you almost
oh the democracy
kind coming for once I'll not talk about it but that is
a video
videos assembly
a 2020
it should tell you where we are as a country and as a people.
But a 2020 why were they doing that now for them?
Well, Nibraba, and let me throw this also to the NDC. We are going into an election that you are not automatic winners. They should hear me right. It is a win or a lose. The Obama now as on my not NDC. Not MPP. And they say the processes leading to the election.
Oh, see, careful.
Say that's why I keep telling the Electoral Commission because election only. And you're unique in so many sense.
Yeah. This particular election.
And yet stakes are high. But the uniqueness.
Unique.
If you stakes a different language, uniqueness, attractive. It is said the person setting record.
A historic.
Yes. File names uncle sister no winning and very unique. Historic. Ghana ni mean word, you know. Very historic election.
Historic.
It is the stakes are high, the stakes are high, the stakes are high, and yet stakes are high. And yet Shrunku because and Munyam Shebib Ebatawe more. It just won't break a certain record.
I mean, first time two Northerners leading the two leading parties. First time a president Eddie
the stakes are high, the stakes are high, the stakes are what is Brofran to do? Stakes bang. Let's talk about the uniqueness and let's be measured with certain utterance election year. It's a no that so can say 50 quotas no.
Yeah.
But it's how can say
I think I've been checking. Me who say the Daily Dispatch apparently Daily Dispatch carry our front page.
I say no kind.
This
year and last year.
No. I don't know. I think I hear one of these interviews.
Yeah, but I should be condemned by the
Daily
party
Dispatch this
But
year.
it should be condemned by the party itself. It should be condemned.
Said you are condemning attacking the northern.
No, they should be condemned. Me ma copy Zima, who copy whatever.
Akropon.
Obi copy wa huna fokrum. Obi copy Tifi Mantem. So what from all these things?
I mean, when I saw it was initially me catch say it can be sanko for na fake attributions to people, no. In the ancient but me come Daily Dispatch front page and I'm say wow. And he actually made those comments. Then that's a bit over the top.
Yes.
A bit
over the top. Uncalled for. It's unnecessary. Very divisive. I'm not for taking the peace we have in this country for granted.
And
I don't know. People take the peace we have in this country for granted. Obia gaga go Ghana obia baso e bema. Oya bema pinsu dia. They be ada meka. Ye boom pain. Ye boom keke. Pain ujo elfa.
Unsani ye boom.
Ye measured because all of us we are seeking for power.
On some information where you say Obi the video in circulation. And for more video a video some very well-known politicians in the NDC. Na omo baby as omo ye meeting. I'm told say baby crony NDC headquarters e wadabraka. Na sofo bi ohwe ne chain eda ne kon a esin kroi. In the chain eda ne kon enu kra sekan ne wapa. Nti oba e na odi Israel nto mani bi asefo oba na waje sekan ne wagina so na waswear. Na swearing in some omo kan bi ano ohye. But I'm told, information I may gather, they say a 2020 video before the 2020 elections. Now, a internal arrangement of the elections directorate of the NDC. In the said video, Nipo Baba swear first. Elvis Ankara. some
here this nankasa wono
any security couple, Captain Cook, why are they giving all the don't complain House of Children award? What are they telling us? So people are doing and they see perform in California to allowance 2000 that's okay. Top number name to just near my 8442308 523. Can join us with your front observation 48 and I would say one of the things is
GES guidelines on PTA, National Council to members.
Okay.
Who's story in
GES guidelines to PTA.
on PTA.
On PTA.
Yeah.
And a
This is from
National
the
Council of
Council.
PTA.
Let's see what the story really is about.
Okay, until when the newspaper comes, I will read the details. One of the things mostly
The National Council
Sure.
of the Parent Teacher Association has called on its members to disregard any directive from the Ghana Education Service
Okay.
on operational guidelines had no locus.
say home because yes. Management in collaboration with stakeholders present the following guideline for the operation the bread parents. I know see councils straight. Saya basa. That's why I don't. A challenge with the network in the Omoshe affix Eddie and BBA to me. Facebook stream no are ending. Sincere apology for that. It would fit and come back now. The other thing is, him say, Mama for be a brave of staff by order, humans have 50,000 today. Today. Oh boy, so much. Don't do that. Impress no man cry. You can't say, also bonds, however, bonds, and in say Jubilee. Oh boys, watch. The other thing I make one dribble, 50,000. 500. Ah, and no quite motor dispatcher or who are now pimpima cares about them. Or the president, vice president, patch for no, or pra, or be Onachia, yes, 200 cities per
you. We now always pay them, not an hour way, no channel one way, no paganity so, no, it's no beer quem, no soda cast, no, he's saying now, gra, and one. Omo baba eskamish 2 seconds be hwehwem saa or choir saa ba o you know ma ba obi ajomo. Go and check the bitterness and the pain
in them.
Now
50,000 no so 1 year.
Make would assume say how.
Na 50,000 there.
So making
anyways, but I make say on the honeymoon topic now what they buy, you know. Who's former President Mahama has in a very unique and very difficult position, which is that say utimi ewini or 4 years, you get it. And within 4 years, he has to execute everything he tells the Ghanaian people to obey. And that's where I agree with you about the honeymoon. Yeah. The honeymoon now, for how long? Yes. Is it 1 month? Is it 2 months? Is it 3 months? Because 4 years. When all the first 6-8 months, ebe for me or government.
Too much of experience there. Obey honeymoon sem. And an insem na okano. Was obey measured in his promises.
In the promises, of course.
Because what's now pay.
Of course. And because and most importantly, because and the time of when you start 4 years. 4 years.
1 year by honeymoon. And 6 months.
No, I said was for me or government answer. That will take around 6 months.
Say, oh, na say na do the new 6 months. Na do content papa.
Say you were appointing your ministers. In another forming or appointing a cabinet, the kitchen cabinet in term, appointing the main ministers in term. But the government goes beyond appointing your ministers.
But that's what I'm saying. So omudi age na no.
Sure.
You say bibi here then.
Oh, of course.
So aircon no. I am sure he's too experienced. To even delay time up to about 6-7 months. Or too much of experience.
But when the president does close to 6,000 appointments.
Yes, Bobby. Only choice obey here. Because what you no waka say o say nya kwanya na unfom so bi awoye na no da no nya dia obey say infom so ni bi ni say oba o delay too much in appointing people infom so ni bi ni say oba no o find some incompetent people to man certain ministries and departments anko yama infom so ni bi ni say ni kasa na office bi a ye tan wana say chiriwo it is how no man we nyina no say am pass wa kosua dia. I don't think we should have time
Joseph Akable, good afternoon to you. Say, good name Joseph Akable. Oh, you're brutal.
Oh, you're super brutal.
Joseph Akable, Charlie. You do all. Why they want to send me guidelines for parent association. So Joseph, yeah, that's a papa. But I'm gonna make a say. Unim say every time a prime. You know, everyone home more than because unim say. Yes, political parties need war. Research institutions when we contract when we research internal research, but we also know say as a state we have the National Intelligence Bureau. The National Intelligence Bureau
mekaise na no dano ye beto abana efa Intelligence Bureau for the nefa yenso and ye DC especially baby a differ with omode George Under. Yeah. When our intelligence said and our report and our research said that George Under was losing, so problem is that but that was the reality. that was the reality. So we have the report. Yeah. We also have our report.
Our way for some constituencies.
Yeah, for some constituencies. We don't have the strength and the might
to do all the constituencies.
But constituencies of interest. There was our report. You know.
Ain't we a special report on the NPP na osha for omo primaries where we have constituencies with sitting MPs in their intelligence assessment report. It dated 27th December 2023. 27th December 2023. Inti say osha executive summary, for example, of this reporter, and it's a reporter Yensaka exclusively. I'll read for you the executive summary. Key findings from the survey indicate that of the 129 constituencies almost survey, majority of delegates sampled in their various constituencies preferred their incumbent members of parliament. However, sampled delegate in 16 constituencies preferred a different candidate to the incumbent MP. Majority of sampled delegates were satisfied with the performance of government. Also, the primary factors that influenced delegates' choice of a parliamentary candidate are the candidate's ability to lobby for development, contribution to the party and constituency engagement. Roads and unemployment were identified as the main issues of concern to delegates in the various constituencies, where the executive summary attached to this particular report. And key findings now had demographics or more. In fact, so our introduction now. A kase we nima date no omantie. The NIB, so only NIB.
BNI for no.
NIB.
Say BNI for the making. Say Uze Ana acquire bank. It was within my BNI to just change to NIB.
Almost they conducted a poll from the 11th to the 24th December 2023 to ascertain delegate sentiment regarding the upcoming parliamentary primaries of the NPP, scheduled for 27 January 2024, in constituencies with certain NPP MPs. The poll also identified issues of concern in the various constituencies, as well as delegates' opinions on the performance of government and the incumbent MP. In your man, for each constituency, the NIB survey why na ewini in that constituency and why na elusu ni nyina e report yi emu. And as we do always, primaries be ba
now try my next week na.
Oh no, so we a teaser. We a teaser.
Okay, mama, just 3 areas now.
Me 3 areas.
Monday no. Yeah, the at least be 25.
Yeah.
Then we can just see. Yeah. For now we have 15. Yeah. To only 10 can one. Then we can do.
Now, I just want to read methodology, to start with. Now, I'm for who say, or say a total of 14,737 respondents. It's quite a serious and extensive survey. 14,737 respondents were randomly selected across 129 constituencies in 13 regions with certain NPP MPs. Into the figure abaha like refer to figure 1 region beyond areas poli nkofo efri very very extensive. Almost say the sampling followed a statistical model with a 99% degree of confidence. 99% of confidence.
That's a 99.
And plus or minus 3% margin of error. But that is good. In line with standard, practice. The respondents were randomly chosen from various positions within each constituency, including polling station executives, constituency executives, electoral area coordinators, council of elders, founding members, and patrons. Majority of respondents were polling station executives, representing about 87.3%. In the polling station executives, constituency executives 8.32%, electoral area coordinators 2.31%, council of elders and founding members 1.26%, patrons 0.85%, making 100%. Demographics na ewaha, and this is a serious survey. Results ni nyina ekurayen wa ha. Yebekom constituency by constituency. Who is by ebimu nso oman ebimu yedidi. O share report na nkoyi.
Yeah, na meka se
nkoyi bebre na yedidi. My interview bebre wa didi.
No. Well, but the truth is that, for instance, in grabbing your report is different from this report. So what I say, for instance, Jubilee, me catch us say, me must snipers of it. Jubilee report.
Yes.
Where we differ in report based on
Oh, of course. I know there.
But I'm saying Jubilee.
Yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, report I kurano. And yeah, wholly different from what
is in this report.
So what I say, yeah, clear. There is nothing like Eboboso in Jubilee.
Asante Jubilee. You mean?
Yeah. Clear. So what I say, Ukojina. Baby, to say the normal ones say John Kumani, 98.9, and Napomun 1999. Yeah, I know they had done the baby. Ukojina Bequire, what we have done.
Bequire, here for Bequire.
Oh, Papa, and we know for what can
Asante Bequire, some now, okay.
Papa, the same cry.
And yet, Joe Weiss.
Yeah, clearly different. Ukojina,
it was a share Bequire, the animal
for Kruma. What we have done, and no more percentages.
Yes.
And no more challenge. I'm saying, you wait my go.
My men shall be quiet, man.
Nobody will just 2 be.
Okay, my men shall be quiet, man.
You could 2 be between the just what the mabble boss come and cook and for him. The mabble was no, ye no film. So apart from Drabia, yeah, clear say.
In the man shall be quiet.
So a child is winning the Drabin constituency.
Yeah, Drabin
by 83%. You know, but other ones is now there. Other ones, so I just off peak biakeke. What is happening there? So, majority of them should be trying.
Hey, but Asokwa, okay, Asokwa de Yawaha.
Anything of interest to you?
No, yeah, Monday night I call into details.
Another one be a maybe back on maybe because very very serious.
Maybe
of interest. Open so yeah. Make my career research in the account. Dominate constituency. Make my open say me can but it will be unfortunate that
Oman inti be quiet the anywhere ha. Be quiet the anywhere. It mean for be quiet the anywhere.
Of course, wetin dey came back baby.
That way National Intelligence Bureau the na makan e dey ama yetiefo no inti be quiet nipa saying miensa in the year Ralph Poku Edusei, year George Alex Mensa, and year Henry Opoku Ware. Chum confirm my say nipa miensa ni ejina wo bekwaya. Confirm my because what we have in this NIB report na nipa miensa Ralph Poku Edusei, George Alex Mensa, and Henry Opoku Ware. And I've already said, say in this report, no, Omoba constituency be a share the preferred candidate in the constituency, or share the main issues are able determine how you are voting and how you are satisfied. Nyoma ben officer amamuno enshada enkoye and how are you satisfied with the performance of the MP? Ni na no rating in percentage terms ewa. It is a share Bequire, Oman. Nipa miensa no, is it confirmed? Nipa saying 4. Okay. Because what they have here, Ralph Poku-Edu say George Alex Mensah
ahead of them.
Undecided, and Henry Opoku-Ware. So I have 4 in there. Ralph Poku-Edu say no. Charlie. Enti say Oko Bekwaya. Nipa o leading the NIB report no. Ralph Poku-Edu say with 78.29%. George Alex Mensah, on any COP, retired COP, no? Okay. George Alex Mensah, 13.16%.
I don't know what true statement is a IGP a campaign.
Now, on any statement, I think a radio interview, right? Radio interview. In the onunya 13.16%.
I mean, gloss over this. And you're healthy for us as a country.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
You can want some Monday.
It's not healthy.
Yeah. Undecided in that constituency, 5.92%. Henry Opoku-Ware, 2.63%. The main issue in the constituency, economy. Or more satisfaction, how they are satisfied about the current MP Ohono, 81.08% satisfaction.
It should even be more than that because
Honorable your friend is Joe Wise.
Yeah, it should even be more than that because said there was here two one chance related to the people. Wow, be the shoes,
a big deal. A big deal.
Big problem.
Constituent no delegate no satisfaction with their current MP 81.08%. But MP no on Kobio into Nipa and Naya Air Corner 3 and the feature Ralph Poku-Edu say is in the lead. In fact, Osha out of the delegate sample, the 119 Echo Edemano, 20 Echo Ma George Alex Mensah, 9 undecided, Henry Opoku-Ware 4. In the percentage term, all things being equal, Ralph Poku-Edu say is winning in Bekwai. Oman, okay, in the total number of delegates almost sample here in that constituency, 152 delegates and almost sample for this research in Bekwai constituency. Constituency maybe you for na Monday at was okay. I'm now for Asante okay.
Oforikrom.
Meba why.
Oh, Kwasibra, that's how they do our Jubilee. Chief researcher. As well, researcher. Papaya, what are the baby quay? A chum. Dominic Okai, artist, okay, artist, you know. He's active in the he's active, Ukano. But was it, oh, my Russia.
Omanhene Kwabena Asante. Omanhene Kwabena Asante. Omanhene Kwabena Asante.
Oforikrom.
We brutal. Oforikrom constituency or Asante region.
Yeah. Oforikrom.
Nipa number of delegates almost sample here. 181. 181 delegates. A honsu nipa ejina no. Chume ho nipa say na ejina.
It's all the Musa branch and Yairi is away. The billboard.
Is it all Yairi
another day? And a more Rano.
Yeah, Lumo. Is it Lumo? Lumo. Yeah. Yairi.
Is it Yairi?
Or the foam team, man, Jaikasa.
Yairi the foam.
Oh, and Twasso. And Omo Nipa 5. Yes, and the age now. But and mind you, said this survey was done between 11th and 24th December 2023.
Okay.
And
very current.
Very, very current. That between 27th December is when they issued the report. Oforikrom constituency. Michael Edudin Ewaha.
Michael Edu away.
Oh, my only Michael Edu. Michael Edu ye ba your friend is saying Coco Board CEO ba. Joseph Boahen do ba. Ne ba no. Na so wonim say Joseph Boahen no a lecturer for about 12 years at University. In the honor wo ne mani nyina anti omu nyina nyi ho ko university primary ni sa ne man e wo ho.
In fact no kwara any issue. Obe win ya na ase dey.
Na se me boba.
Na ko for abakosem ba.
Ah na se ubusa se nipa na ye hwan nti ade na we se no abakosem.
Anye we no nye ayi clubhouse assembly e ka
ho. Inti Michael Edudin wa Claudia Kwatin Lumo. Ena undecided. Ena Nelson Owusu ansa.
Minipa no.
Unipa ben.
They also the form.
Ne yiri ndi anytime can the din kran ka o man capture the din Charlie. Akwana ferry. The din kran ha enti ba o man o hwe nipa miensa na ye capture won wa ha na. Out of the 181 delegates sampled no, emu 93 echo Emma Michael Edu. And Michael Edu leads with 51.38%.
Very tight.
51.38%. Claudia Kwatin Lumo, delegates nimu 33 and a commano, representing 18.23%. By gap neso. Maza. Gap neso. Now 51, 18. In the Claudia Kwatin Lumo, 18.23%. Undecided. But that's where tricky. Undecided no nipa 29. Representing 16.02%. It undecided near follow way or how man for bit me harvesting. Nelson Owusu ansa 26 and a command nipa 26. That represents 14.36%. When him Nelson Owusu ansa NYA deputy CEO. On Cozy on 2 deputies no. It Nelson Owusu ansa. NYA unim National Youth Authority.
No more moon Enti I dey ba ko say anya what this administration no. Titi nyuma ministry what it change say oba ye or the mrabe chiro musisi a me person me
call. Na say NYA dey wo dada.
But you see that is the problem of this country. The fact is say wo dada no na say nye papa kra na betimi e dey afra ba bia e say wo wana. Ko atiwa mate say Jubilee as far as I say oba bia betena obo so e bia road minister wono.
Atiwa
road minister whatever.
Etiwa West,
go?
Yes, neighbor.
Yeah.
In the Ofori no man, based on, in fact, the Honsono, MP, current MP, near Dr. Mafo, delegates each remua 75.42% or more satisfied with the performance. A Honso major issue in the constituency road.
I say no him crowd more lose you know, Jubilee House.
Yeah. In the Michael Edu is leading Ofori Chrome constituency 51.38%. What's the mention there name?
Etiwa baby road music you know one Etiwa dey.
Etiwa West. Okay, my mention Etiwa ma we na the idea. Etiwa West on. Okay, let me get you Etiwa West. Hey.
Etiwa was near one.
Omanhene Kwabena Asante.
But this is also controversy with the Mosa.
Hey, Oman. Na subin the enen so how?
I say subin the because I come back Etiwa West one. We go Etiwa West here Kasano. And I said the last time I checked, no I'm so confusion see. If you must see down or who you know, and that's it for you.
Etiwa West.
Bidim so nto ana omudi medicals omo fio. Ebi ma babo omo chisisen obi so omo fie kromo. About to moon and sacro non qua. Can you ever de coso?
Etiwa West nipa say na ejina ho.
And nine
Oman e ho de no.
O pa oba person omo so akọ to be problem there.
Ma men hu me Etiwa West there so for very good reasons.
Yeah.
For very good reasons. For very, very good reasons. Mami home so for now. Mami Kosubin. Ne home ne ababa betwa so juada. Na hey, erade. Anyways, in the Subin no, unim say Frank Kwejo Dodu ejina. The incumbent MP Eugene Buachi entry ejina. Yewo Kofi Obri Yeboa Esquire. Kofi Obri Yeboa Esquire. Onunsu ejina.
No. Kofi Obri Yeboa a lawyer.
A lawyer. Yeah, Kofi Obri Yeboa Esquire.
On na ba for mo ka say what team na say report today.
No mo say what team. Subin constituency, your man, their report, Kenny. When you're count. Delegate almost sample here in the constituency here 135 delegates 135 delegates area no man out of 135 delegates no emu 51 Eko Edema Frank Kwejo Dodu representing 37.78%. Subin emu. And that's Nipa 51, the comma Frank Kwejo Nipa 36, Ekodema, the incumbent Eugene Boachi Entry, representing 26.67%. Emu 36 krona Eko Edema Kofi Obriaboa Esquire, representing 26.67%. In the Osha per report ne dia the only di Subin Frank Kwejo Dodu ofri Subin o kobi o gina mu bandan
no me busa so obi asiki you so me ka say nana ba for see a lawyer obri no e we ni mpa Subin ni pass the job o be say 7
yeah omodoso kakra we say check here no so but at least from way in there
no so we need pay ombit me hwana
sitting MP no incumbent no na delegates no satisfaction of their current MP which is the incumbent no 27.48%. But na say Brasey doc Brasey yeah satisfaction with this performance 27.48%.
So Alan's contribution to
by honors one critical thing is undecided vote no 8.87% at the time I know more yet we undecided 8 point but still I think the between lawyer no and lawyer no and incumbent no are tied the same percentage the same number of votes into last days might change something but I think Frank Kwejo Dodu no 51 votes and this second year 36 enti otimi ekipi up the strategy in there but also the major issue in the constituency economy and that's for
okay so I've been informed Frank Dodu no NADMO regional NADMO regional NADMO director you know what my sorry on two things
in the main fact
so Monday I'm admire compare the enough minim say be episode be so quickly
very quickly suppose no we dey no omo red gold green green which is o call omo the real side will vote for you yellow no omo undecided to how so you hu adwuma na red in the o cost roba for no we ni ma mo o ko committee ma ka kire so ma kwedi we ati to ma and when you sample and yet the entire delegates and in this contest no obi ehun say a safe seat it wa resources mood you can win it depend na say ekoba say yellow for doors one 100 to change normal
okay
so we'll continue God willing on Friday na so for the rest of the days leading up to 27 but Friday nyame adoma ye be sign so a lot of constituencies here some of the constituencies no will shock you some of them
I will really I'm solidly by no I'm solidly by
na say here the Ketia mo lead o pesa me bomb ma ha de na me ade Me the best Friday.
I don't even talk Friday.
No, me the best Friday.
Say no. Na keti ya money ni jina ya odi ewe.
Hey, Oman. Turn on off.
Frida.
Yeah.
Hey.
There to boss.
No. Micro
the men ko. Mamenye fifi kwenti.
No, but gap ne so do.
Bebe mamenye train.
Esun too much.
Train. Dey favor the men manema. O dey train. Bisiro. E be see dey fear that na dem. O dem holiday.
Oman, but who say turn on off? Yeah, me want to say the satisfaction of okay, whatever. My fancy Friday.
Okay. No me. And I'm just sorry. Hey. Very, very worrying and very, very important to me.
Yes.
And sir, SML, na ompeso beka hoshi ewa no say no. Very, very worrying. So the other toja. Akosi tie o.
Itie pa.
The other toja. Efa SML ejumako no. If that is the case there. Now, me ba make sure them say sa na tie dia. Near wow. Then we need to start becoming careful as a people, because when people start doing what is right in this country, people find ways and means to bring them down. Because when people, for whatever reason, because I'm surprised that you've not taken your time to tell us the reality on the ground.
No, I was doing my own findings. Cause I was saying me too quite by and that's
because here is GRA, here is MPA, here is SML, here is the government of Ghana, here is the Ministry of Finance. We are talking about a situation where there is a claim that Obi Nye Juma
and
it's to Ghana, we are not interested. But say a blackmail. Say a misrepresentation of the facts. Say a Kabbalah. That is the purpose of our platform and the profession that we're choosing. People cannot, in this country, people cannot be gods on themselves and decide fake reports for us, generate fake things for us, for all of us to follow suit. Say a real issue what is being done about the situation.
I agree with you.
No, I agree. And let me also
of course.
Let me add, say, I was away time a story in a breaky. I've taken time to watch the documentary. I've taken time to dig for some more information. And you know my interest in that sector and all of that. One of the write-ups I'm making here was by Professor Ransford Jampo, a very, very interesting write-up. And I wish say many no edin komo e won write-up now. And then I would compare that to some of the findings. Because maybe the say our job, this profession here, profession of verification. Ours is to go out there and verify. And yeah, when you maybe was a Ghana, we've created a culture where we debate just about everything. Debate. Whether the company in question aye Juma, our Moody's Devil period and that's what Munye Juma. So verifiable. It is verifiable. But the point is before the so-called contract are buying and as a GRA be engage one. What was the situation? What is the situation now? Simple and short. It will was a young argument too. There should be no argument.
But I am worried though.
But the point is mind you say mind you say Omaya Juma our downstream sector of the industry, of the value chain, downstream what brought about the whole furore? A new contract for them to go upstream. But a simple say, if we've seen their work, if the data shows say downstream no more successful, why should anybody have a problem? I mean, I don't understand. So
what is the data
but I don't understand.
The data spread over for all of us to see.
No, I would want to believe, say, this is the data on all the stakeholders, the MPA, the GRA, and all the companies involved. They should be aware.
Hey, on my way on.
They should be aware. Because maybe I don't see why there should be a debate. Just look at the data. What was the situation before they came? What is the situation now? And then end of story. End of story. Why should this be a
problem? If there's any punitive measure or continuity, is it not so?
Why should this be a problem? I don't understand. Anyways, Domemo so many Prof Jampo amame into
Professor Jampo dewe.
Yes. Oh, University of Ghana.
Oh, me am a professor.
Yes.
So treat transact no share cap.
Osaye elder of the Church of Pentecost.
Yes,
Oh, me the mo be bia boso.
No, but it's a fact.
Oh,
It is
bia
it's a fact. I'm sorry, Penny. I quite about a poem to say.
Moya pa obi unso.
Nyame adom enso me ho ye papa. Ye didn't come on na SML in sense no ebem, and I remembered say I read a write up from you on this same subject. I've been trying to also on my own dig for some information. Minim in your write up no you seem to say some of the narratives about the company out there and we might have to, as a country, dig further before we reach some conclusions. Basis Prof.
Oh, me that say, let me say, working Kenya. One of the things that I saw was the bit about contracts. 10 years. It was thrown out there in the public domain, but later, when some of us decided to dig further into it, realized it, 10 years, 5 years. And after, because you wanted me to give my broader.
Oh yeah. Please do.
So me not make kind say, make sure I not make one say. Yes, we are all alive and raising issues, following the documentary. I may say, Renia Kitwamanasi Azuri about SML. Now, on the face value, no share documentary na bufu kaka. I say na won't mean to how a group of people be a 1% or more far or minus sika and then for. But when say SML arrangement now, very technical, very, very, very technical. And you move in almost na we decided say you better move to call our question. It be said this a moon and so forth. And me kai say idea a man me so curious was when at the initial stage it turned out that what Manasseh is saying say I didn't 10 years so 10 years 5 years and I'm the say no, this is going to be a running issue, and definitely because I'm also interested in the fight against corruption. Ebeba yebeka wansem yendo mwesu kwani yenko bise mu asem se ne ebe ya yenso yebetumi enye biaka. Okay, entino emu binum yesua ho ade akọ SML for office ho akọhwe omo engine room ni omo control room ho akotieti akọhwe eniema your friend is saying omo ye na in my investigations so no ne say am hwe ne omo ye no madwimu no edwuma omo ye na de nka ebe bo Ghana se eba se no kwasem se a dream ne keta se bi ewom ana se omo for minus card do bia me neje ehon se ye behwehwem na ibe se ne corruption in it na o man no emfa the 90 form na yentu anamo but nia mehunu pa no de ye ade a em se edwuma omudi no ebe bo Ghana yi enti President Akufo-Addo em say dede eba ho ne ye kan wan sem bebe em say osha ama oye obi amanfo aboni chipa me amiti chapel Jimabuedi no ka say also President Akufo-Addo his track record in the fight against corruption is intact. Jimabuedi na kind and him says a comment yakoko no de den nti no or tsm yankofo kan SML asemna na quickly wa hot or so suspended na KPM for and now me were two concerns about what the president did.
Okay.
Number one, the president did a year among hot it portrays a certain fundamental misunderstanding of the work of the of SML. When no more they adie meter akobo nkofo pipe and you know you say nkofo ka the petroleum products ya pompe bia 10 barrels ebia no one pompe one report to 10 barrels ebia one pompe 15 na omo the 5 na aka no afa nchen o be e da ko gugu tank mu aton and nkofo edi omo meter akobo pipes ya petroleum products in film and that is say what can say what pompe 10 barrels when Musumita no ebe ready 10 barrels. There's will be to me more or mine corner. Now what can say Omunya and some could more meter, not just say within the time frame of 2 weeks now. Yeah, Shimono, not just say Sika and Kopo ever found up for minor corner degree. Send me kitchen, OBA. Say, a school 40 classroom exam hall, not or more chro in social. Not say, more invigilator, who say, school need not throw in social, or yeah, a DBA, any exam, university exam rules, no, every bra. Young co and stop on say, Jai in social natural. Nemo oko no akobo akotake me index number no akotwe no akata se ne hu se wo yini nemo mo koso chiro na ubewie no ye be from penimfo enim na edi wasem na se wudi be ma obeko wudi for me a cancel paper enti untumi enfiti prekoa en cancel ni kan paper because e be cancel be wie no na ye be hwehwe mu no e bia na onhye da endi for wo cancel paper na wa ha no enti no yehu sana ye ma wo koso chro nti what President Akufo-Addo could have done was that okay ye sanse mi na abamo mo de mo koso na mo nya mo adwuma na emom yenso ye de ye hwem so in that case once obo omanity ka omobo omanity ka no ban na at the same time ye hwem se ne ketan se bi o mo a se ne be ya eno nso de ba out at the end of the day oman no enhwesika. The second issue about what President did and a comment uncle for account and they say, oh my Ghana, I told the Bia na ye double standards, too much standarded people, too much. Yan Kasa they are no run down state owned institutions. We don't have trust in state owned institutions. Ade Ebaya or Mampini Kase or the Akoma KPMG, so Munye, Minyaya, Anka, giving say. Oman for ebua KPM for kumfo say edwano muntumi nye omo conflict of interest issues enti minya yanka edwuma na nkomo nye nka omo mfanto ho esan say oman for kora no edinkan ebua kumfo ededa nanso well KPM say omo betumi akoso ayenti omo de omo ye won edwuma but I'm asking say ene yan ye say state institutions yan trust omo yan state institutions or Mampenia can come so or manipulate and as for ain't send yes see or Mampeni and manipulate state institutions they are controlled not for that's all or Mampeni and they come up private institutions are yes so yes penny into Kosi and Kosi and Koda all of a sudden we are touting the credentials of state institutions and we believe that they would have done a better job. My advice to Ghanaians and the respected civil society leaders and we were dominant more state institutions could have done a better job. My advice may their good judgment that they are passing on these state institutions remain. Now, may this judgment that they are passing on these state institutions strengthen the hands of these state institutions so that tomorrow they can rise above their inertia and do work in a manner that will justify public confidence in them. See, yes, what confidence in state institutions are. You're making sure that the kind of Sarah, then you better have confidence, because of acting state institutions. So, I say, and now state institutions, you come up private institutions, I have a problem. Kosi and Kosi, Koda, and also, yeah, and then Subai. Minekura, no, and say, open ye, Namiadum, yet the Asemi, Yashim. I'm sure say by next week the moon akusi. But as we wait for the outcome of the investigation, two things must agitate our mind. Number one, about the saying a contract a year 5 years, because 10 years. Then if I or pen to breaking news to the Rwanda, and I say Okitono agenda. Was he in a hurry to break news? Or he had an agenda, or he was completely misinformed. I humbly submit to say the fight against corruption must be driven by passion, it must be driven by knowledge, it must be driven by understanding, and it must not be driven by ignorance and misinformation. Yes, sir. Not just say, I'm sure. Near my papa, a bit to me, Abua or mine, once I not ye nkɔfo Emma yadipa bi ayɛdɛn ahwere I support anti-corruption crusaders. I support anybody who wants to help fight corruption. But I'm saying that in our quest to fight corruption, we should be sure that we do not misinform the public. We should have our facts right so that Jumana Obibe will say we are yet credible work. Number 2, about the saying that a Juma yede aka SML 4 nan same so mako sign contract. Obi etimi atenase aya calculation aka say SML 4 billion $100 million every year. Wambra nipa krono okasa no 1 year say number 1 SML for omo investment omo akoye ewo ejuma no mu no yanti enu mfim maintenance of equipment and machines yanti enu mfim ye nkofo a yebeti omo ka yanti enu mfim ye 35% and over tax GR4 ebeti omo yanti enu mfim ye interest rate 32% and also yanti enu mfim ye. Now, if you have not been able to factor all these cost elements into the operations of an organization, a body so by a performance-based contract. Opening a performance-based contract, I believe so. Yes. One performer it is possible that the person may not even be able to perform, and that's what even perform but performance-based contract, Kaime and Sana Wakaime your Pentecost where a much in the Kaime and so Kaime Paso. Young Kai, the cost component of what is going on. Then we are just being propagandistic. Last but not least, I've heard a very disingenuous argument. Say, Nipakrona or that SML, I don't know, or your timber contractor, no only experience their argument. It doesn't make sense to me. It's answer. Omanhene for yato aba eyi omo se wombedi oman Ghana so no wonye bebrenya Omanhene for that they do not have the experience and competence to become president, and yet they have been able to rule Ghana. The mark of leadership is the one who is one's ability when he is given a mandate to do something to be able to assemble the right caliber of people around him and to entrust positional trust to them. Entina Unipa or chief studio wo timono your friend is saying Kwesichum. Meaning they say now or you're expert and he has competence in radio production now or you be a watertight radio station that no he be that he absolutely had no competence in them in doing these things, but he was able to recruit good people like you to be able to help him. And you know, and yet say competence there. And yet, a china so be your Omanhene. Young Bissan said, school, Omanhene for school, Ben or Koye, we could experience what the baby so. Scientists or Omanhene, Jerry Rawlinson, or movie school, young people, they were able to identify the right caliber of people. Jerry Kufonum, President Kufuadonum, and Professor Samuels, your mama. They didn't have the competencies to become presidents, or school, but they were able to assemble the right caliber of people to offer advice and to occupy certain key positions to help them to succeed. And to know to me, Wakase will be only competence to me and assemble the right caliber of people to do a certain work and to do it well. Let me say, Kakam Pese Mekano, but me and the cry near Mekano say the fight against corruption must be driven by, first of all, passion. It must be driven by knowledge. It must be driven by information, and it must not be driven by ignorance and lack of information. Thank you.
I mean, as a prof, now me one question, Bibusa and Sana Wako from the checks. Why? Because of your interest in this matter, and you've taken it upon yourself to do some further checks. Yenim said the company in question, SML, agreement with GRA, no, now to oversee the downstream sector. Ama Omaye said Jumana since 2018. The Edifirori ne buy a new contract omanya to go upstream and the issues when you aba on the downstream side, no, based on information when you near no, how has it gone for us as a country? Omube muno Yehu BB, have you seen the changes being the data? And I say,
me call now one kasa the data that is not manufactured by them. Data abayan kasa generated. Before and after. Before mo buy how we're faring, and after buy how we are faring. Now, we share almost statistics na we share presentation now. Then you ask yourself, then what is wrong with us as a nation? It appears to me, opinion say, obi na oye ejuma yi, and ye di ejuma fu aka no ho, and they be no so wo hwa, one tia se wo fo say, di bi ma mem dibi, and na ema ekromu ye de. Nti won so pe ejuma ni bia ye. Na mom kwan ya ye be fa so apa ejuma ni bia ye say, ye be gu hu fie say ye be je another ejuma no efi unsem. Na me say, di bi ma mem say ba ko for de emi a ekromu kwa nye de. Into say also person dibia. I believe say or kwanya ye faso e kano. Na nipa no so when to me anye adwuma ne ya. Me sure think e another contract e be sa kano ho. And you know adwuma ne de what I saw no, and I believe this will be confirmed by the KPM general. I think they are doing what is right. Nemo what is out there no is purely half truths that I'm sure say omunya akwenya akuhwehwe mu sanya. Maybe they wouldn't have come to some of the conclusions that they have made.
Very well. Prof, my fancy woman into Bibiania will come back to you. Why? Yes, Papa, into Professor Ransford Jampo, or a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Legon, and Amotezi AD and Komeko.